Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another show, Slinging Dirt Down Under. Tonight, we've got a very special guest with us and a great commentator. Nathan Badcock's our special guest, and our regional commentator from around Tassie, Mr. Alan Rourke. Welcome, fellas.
Well, mate, great to be on again.
Yeah, The show's getting popular and popular every week. It's good. I love looking at how many views we get every week, and big hats off to all our supporters out there. It's great to see we've got so many out there and that it's actually fell in nicely with everyone.
Thanks to all 7 of you. We really appreciate it. No, it's going gangbusters, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's actually surprised me. Like, we're averaging about 500 views a week each show, which is absolutely great. I'd never thought that we'd get that much, but it's getting more and more popular. But please tell a friend about it, because there's a few people that still don't know that we're operating. And so get hold of your mates and say, hey, have you watched this Slingin Dirt Down Under? It's specially designed for Tassie Speedway. Get on there and have a look, because we try our best, and we have a bit of fun while we're doing it. So.
Oh, exactly. You got nothing to lose but your smoker's cough.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. I hope it works for me then, because I've had one the last few days. Rocky Hobart, mate. Wow.
Wow.
Well, once again.
I read the track totally wrong. After the karts and the kart racing was good, they started forward, do their thing. I walked across the track and it was quite dry, and I thought, this is just going to just blow off and we'll go slick. That's it, you know. And I said to a couple of people, look, you know, that's how dry it is. But when they took the top off it, there was that much juice down coming up through it all night. It was a tough track. It tore up a bit of gear.
Yes, there was a few cars torn up, but the racing was once again outstanding. Like, it's like everyone's gone up another gear this year in Tassie. It's so good at racing at the moment, not with just one division, but with all divisions, which is just, it's a credit to Tasmanian Speedway, it is.
Oh, 100%. Like, everything from, the top tier super sedans down to the other divisions, they were just all fantastic.
Yep.
You know, there wasn't one that you'd say, oh, I should have gone to the shop while they were on.
Yeah.
It was just racing all night.
Yeah. No, it was good to see. It was awesome. We got a little bit of a roughness there at one stage. Steve Latham found out the hard way what it's like to be on a few ruts in the corners, but apart from that, it was credit to the track crew down there. I was like you, Rocky. I looked at the track and thought, "Ooh, this is going to be a bit wild later on." But it actually, like you said, all that moisture come up back through the track, and it was quite fast there.
It was a hammer down track, that's for sure.
Yeah. We had some good winning results on the weekend. Ellis Dickinson won his first Super Sedan race final, A main. So hats off to Ellis. Like, it was a good drive. There was a few incidents along the way that cut a few of the top runners out. So it was, he was the next one in line, but he drove a great race, drove all night, and like I said, credit to Ellis, great win.
Yeah, he came home just ahead of Marcus Alexander and Josh Piscaneri, so great to see those guys up there on the podium. And probably the big story of the night was, of course, the Will Lockwood Memorials. It wasn't just for the six-shooters, the Tassie Sixers, but also for junior new stars and junior top stars. I thought that was fantastic. And of course, Tiffany Frankham, she took home the trophy for the Will Lockwood Memorial for Tassie Sixers, the inaugural one, from Greg Sewell and Sinead Williams. And then in the top stars, what a great battle the top stars had. Jack Pearce from Brock Colgrave and Hunter Simpson. And in the new stars, it was Caleb Alexander, Taylor McCulloch and Lachlan Beasy. Keep an eye on Taylor McCulloch.
Yeah.
He's a young guy going fast, in a hurry. There's no doubt about that.
It's the junior boys are really, and girls are definitely stepping it up a gear, and it was great to see those 4 top cars having a good old ding dong battle there for a while. It's great to see. I can't wait to see these young fellas jump into a bigger division with something with a bit more horsepower. It's gonna definitely open some of the eyes of these other drivers around the place, that's for sure.
Well, we keep saying it as the juniors move up, into other categories. They've already got racecraft. They've got understanding of driver dynamics, weight transfer, all those important things. Whilst they might not be able to explain it to you succinctly, they get it, they understand it, because they've been, several years of racing rather than just coming into it. And of course, Formula 500s were great. Jacob Lynn took the chocolates there. Well done to him.
I think that's his first A main, is it? Is that his first A main victory?
Yep. correct me if I'm wrong, I've been wrong heaps of times, but I don't recall him winning another AMA.
No, I don't think I have either.
Quick time in the Formula 500 Juniors, went again to Phoebe Roberts. She's going really, really well.
Yep.
And the others, though, are starting to close that gap as far as the time difference, so that's fantastic. And then, of course, in the modifieds, Williams Racing put in their second driver, Smiley. Hopefully they get their gun driver, Emily, in there shortly. And in the bombers, 14 bombers started the night, you know, and the wild, wild world of bombers, it's just a tough thing. Mate, when are you jumping in a bomber?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think
I couldn't think of a better place to film from.
I don't know whether I'd feel safe in one like that. They scare the shit out of me. Some of them do.
Well,
Like it'd be good.
Stays on laxatives then, doesn't it?
Yeah, well that's it. It'd be a great experience, and I probably wouldn't mind doing it. But I don't know. Like I said, they scare the shit out of me. So.
Yeah, well, Tyler Russell won in those. So.
Yep.
I will interrupt there if I can, boys.
Yeah.
I had a passenger ride in a bomber once.
Yeah, righto.
Something with Brody Thayer, probably 4 or 5 years ago now, and I can assure you, never again.
Well, there, I rest me case then. That's it. I'm done.
You don't have a case. You've got a duffel bag.
I have jumped in as passenger with Dale Riley one night in the street stock, and I'll tell you what, that was an eye-opener. Like, the way they throw them things into the corner, you think, nah, this is going to roll. It's definitely going to roll. There's no way knowing this is going to go around the corner. And he comes out the other side, but he don't just do it for one lap. It's lap after lap after lap, you know. So honestly, hats off to any driver that can do that sort of thing, you know. It's great things. And also on the program, we had the karts down there, Rorky. They had another run.
Yeah, they certainly did. The junior karts, senior karts, they're a little low on numbers in the 1-2-5s, but they turned on some terrific racing in the afternoon. And the thing that I love about the karts is we've seen so many of our stars progress through onto the larger tracks and go on and do some great things, you know.
And
fantastic,
the junior karts, I might be wrong here, is it Bryony Richards?
Bryony Richards.
Nickname
Bruce.
Yeah, she won the junior karts. James Dillon won the 1-2-5s. Jeff Lawrence won the modifieds, and that was it. No, that's all that we had for them. I don't think we've missed anyone else, have we? No,
that's it.
And Tyler Russell, honestly, why would you put that car out there with the Bombers? It is one of the nicest looking cars I think I've seen with a paint scheme, and he's out there with the Bombers. Like, I'd be too scared to get it scratched.
Yeah, he's not too frightened to get in there and mix it with the guys and girls, and that's what we love about bomber racing.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's great fun. Nathan, modifieds. well, I was talking to you during the week, and I said we're going to announce you as a modified driver, and you sort of laughed at that. Why, mate? Why did you laugh at that?
Look, unfortunately, the number one driver, she's already pulled rank, and we're pretty keen on getting her in the seat because I'm, you know, I don't like to admit it very often, especially when she's around. But she's not a bad operator when she's keen. And to be really honest, I think she should get outdrive me any day anyway. So
yeah, righto. So you've stepped back from the karts this year and just concentrate on the mod.
Yeah, look, I love my speedway karts. We did the Australian title in April. That was a real eye opener.
Yep.
I had a big ball doing that. It was a massive road trip with a bit of kart racing thrown in. It was good to go with all the Tasmanians that we race with.
Yep.
Had an absolute ball, but you know, when we got home, we sort of decided, well, look, we were always going to rebuild the Falcon because I don't know if you guys remember the last meeting at Carrick. Someone decided that she would do that to a ride. I've got a piston here too.
Yeah, right.
Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Your Honour.
Yeah, there's a cap too. So
yeah, righto.
Once we decided to do that, we thought, oh well, look, you know, we'll give it a rebuild, lined it up, suspension, and we've gone all out. We're dragging our feet a little bit now, but we're sort of just trying to get things done properly and try and get the car out as soon as we can.
Yep. And it's a credit to you, mate. I've had a bit of a sneak peek at the car, and it looks absolutely mint. Like real credit to you and your better half. You've done a great job. There's no doubt about it.
I'm pretty impressed considering I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, don't let that worry. Fake it till you make it seems to be working. Now, your road trip wasn't necessarily as easy as everybody thinks because you weren't really sure right up until almost boat time that you were going. You had to wait for the doctor's clearance.
Yeah.
You're only using one leg every second step. The other one was in a bad way, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did myself a bit of a mischief a couple of months before we went away. And basically up until it was literally the week before we were due to be on the Spirit, the GP turned around and said, well, look, you know, you can't really do any more damage. You might as well you've spent all this money, you might as well go. So yeah, that was a bit of a trying time in its own right. Yeah, I was very fortunate to get there. And, you know, I missed out on winning our state title here because of it, and had a substitute driver for that. One of my mates ended up, you know, killing his cart. So I said, well, my cart's there. I can't drive the thing. Jump in it. And he ended up finishing, I think, 4th or 5th in the state title in a borrowed cart.
Yep.
So,
right.
Yep. So we fully recovered now, mate? The leg's all good now?
No. Look, admittedly, that is part of the reason why I'm not racing at the moment, because I haven't actually got a proper clearance yet.
Yep.
That's actually due to happen in the next couple of weeks. So, fingers crossed that'll happen. And I'm still probably not going to jump in the cart this season. I'm going to have I don't want to keep having a bit of a spell, and I do want to focus on Nate and her racing, just because, you know, the amount of effort she's put into getting me into the speedway karts.
Yep.
You know, she ran them for quite a few years, and circuit karts many years before that. And look, between her and Graham, like, you know, I figured, you know, they deserve the effort. So, you know, it's nice season once we can get her on track.
Yep. Yeah, no, it'll be good. And modifieds, mate, what have we got planned for this season? I know we're a few meetings in and we sort of have a series going, but what's the big thing for modifieds this year, and what's going on with it all?
Yeah, look, I mean, a few people may have seen that we've sort of come up with a series. So basically, myself and Tom Hext, we had a bit of a chat throughout last season, which, you know, last season was a little bit trying because we really struggled with car numbers and, you know, threats of, you know, canning race nights because of numbers and stuff like that. Which, you know, that's where we decided to actually cross-register Jane's Falcon at the time. That was over a few drinks at Walshy's 40th of all places, between Walshy, Herb, Amy and Will Lockwood. And they twisted our arms and said, oh, go on, it's just a bar, you know, just get it registered. And we rocked up to the next meeting and we probably had the most fun that we've ever had at the Speedway. Yeah. But yeah, look, as far as that goes, I got to know Tom through last season, and we were sort of talking about, you know, doing something. We were in need of a driver's rep. It wasn't that we didn't have one, but unfortunately, you know, our driver's rep at the time, his commitments weren't at Speedway, which is fair. So for the season last year, Brad Herbert actually filled in and sort of, you know, ran it a little bit for us. And Tom and I sort of turned around and said, well, look, why don't we see if we can do it together? Yep. Not just necessarily one driver's rep. Like, Tom does a lot of the sort of the nitty-gritty stuff behind the scenes. I'm playing around with the social media stuff and trying to learn all that. But yeah, look, we've got ourselves a naming rights sponsor who has put money into a kitty for us. That's Tretech Tasmania, who's actually one of our drivers in Jaden Lowe.
Yep.
And so far every round, except for a couple, we have you know, round sponsors. So, you know, we're able to give back to those sponsors by, you know, giving them, you know, an entry, trying to do as much with the social media as we can, trying to get you know, our track commentators to spruik them a little bit, which they've been doing really well. Thank you, Rocky. And yeah, look, it's really just about, you know, trying to get a little bit of rejuvenation going. It's pretty commonly known that mods were in a little bit of strife, yep. And it was not looking good for the division. And look, I'm confident that, you know, with the trust of the drivers and the car owners and stuff like that, you know, there's no reason why we can't sort of bring it back almost to probably how it was, a number of years ago.
Yeah.
I've not been around Speedway that long. My big thing's been the karts, but I've always had an interest, and I always wanted. I've just loved the modifieds. I just like the style of car that they are. I tried to talk Jane into buying one straight up, but she wanted to try the streety thing, so we did that. And I'm glad that common sense prevailed. I mean, nothing against streeties by any means. We still love them. We love watching them. But I think the modifieds, because we don't race as often, it just suits that type a bit more,
Yep. And the racing's great at the moment. No, Smiley Williams and Jake Troy, they've been putting on a hell of a show with their cars. The rest of the boys are a little bit off them at the moment, but they seem to be having their own little battle back there. And I was I filmed Claverville on the weekend, and I can sort of watch as well as I'm filming at the same time, and I was watching them backmarker boys, and they were having a good old ding-dong there at one stage. It was great to see. So it's like you've got two races in the division, which is good. You haven't got a big, long train of cars where there's not much racing going on. But once them backmarker boys get up to Jake and Smiley, it's going to be a great sort of division to watch racing, isn't it?
Yeah, and look, it's probably going to happen. I mean, the thing is, those cars are relatively well developed in terms of, they've done a few seasons, they know where they're at with the cars, whereas, we do have, quite a few sort of, newer drivers that haven't been quite, around it quite as long.
Yep.
And I think that's a good thing, and it's good to have the guys that have been around it for a while,
yep.
Still wanting to rub shoulders with the new guys. And look, one of the biggest things that I think, I mean, you guys haven't really spent a lot of time in the pits with us, but the biggest thing is, and even last season, was the camaraderie. Like, everyone gets along, everyone helps everyone where they can. Like, outside of the race meetings and stuff like that, like, if someone needs help with parts or help with a car or, people were jumping on it and just helping each other out, which, it needs to be done, and it's awesome. And, I can't really sort of thank our drivers that we have currently enough for helping us out to sort of try and make this thing work.
And Ash Walsh will be looking for a 5-glass expert this week with no side panel and no nose cone left on it after the weekend.
There's no car faster than a rental, is there?
I wouldn't know about that.
I bet you've given a few rentals a hiding over the years, Rocky.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, the Falcon did cop a fair bit of damage, but I think it was just mostly cosmetic, and as far as I know, body-wise, the thing's back together.
Yeah.
So they're ready to go again.
And it's good to see so many different cars out there, not just Holdens and Fords. We've got Mercedes out there, we've got Falcons, we've got every sort of top car that's out there at the moment. It's all different sort of cars. You've got early model Falcon, Quillarat driving that, and it's good to see such a variety of cars in the division, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And rumour is there could be an XF or maybe two hitting the track in the next round or two, hopefully, as well.
Yeah, righto. Yep.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that rumour, so that's coming to fruition.
As far as I know, I think Mr. Torians Jr. Has got a bit of arm twisting ahead of him. But yeah, I think he's working on it. He's assured me he's working on it.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. It'll be good to see the older cars back out there. It's great.
Yeah,
so for people at home, Nathan, because there's we've got so many divisions that are similar to look at. We've got a street stock, we've got production sedans now in Tasmania, and modifieds. What is a modified? Like, what does a modified car involve?
Yep. Okay. So obviously, starting with the street stock, it's in the name. They're meant to be essentially stock, road rails, suspension arms, stock style shocks, and all that sort of stuff. With the modifieds, the engine rules are a fair bit more open. So in the stockies, you essentially are limited to running either the Intech motor or your Ecotech.
Yep.
In your late model Commodores and Falcons. In the modifieds, you're pretty much allowed to run whatever the car came with. So that's when you sort of see your Falcons with the Barras. You see your Commodores with the the Allotex. Everyone knows the sound of Brad Herbert's old car.
Oh, yeah, didn't we? What?
I think my ears are still ringing from the last time I watched that thing race.
I don't
The
think
telephone numbers on the tacho, wasn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. Essentially the engine rule book is pretty much open. Like, aside from little things like you've got to use a factory size throttle body, for example, but everything else is pretty much open. Suspension, you can pretty much do whatever you want in terms of like shocks and spring setups. You can do anything. Yep. Arms, you're allowed to go, completely fabricated arms. I know of a couple of cars that have still use a mix of fabricated and factory arms.
Yep.
You're allowed to, chop them right up and lighten them up, which I think is now a sort of a, divisional thing. And I think you can do that now in stockies and potties regardless. They're just a super modified road car essentially.
Yep.
And they're a great thing to drive. I've had the pleasure of driving one way back in the day, and they're a good handling rig, and they get up and go.
Yeah,
good close racing.
I just a little side story, I guess. When we got back from the Australian title, the weekend after, we got off the boat on Thursday, drove home, and I think we turned around and come back up on the Saturday for the Carrot Club Day.
Yep.
I was lucky enough to park my butt in the seat of Jane Lowe's BA and Tom Hex's VE Commodore.
Nice.
And it actually shocked me because I'd literally just been racing, on the a national event in the go-kart, jumped in the modified, and to me it literally felt like a go-kart. It's just a bit bouncier with a roof.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I actually surprised me how quick I felt like I adapted to it. And if I had more seat time, I'd probably get a little bit of pace up.
And it's such a big division in Australia. I watch a lot of the mainland races over there, and the quality of racing is so close and it's so clean. Like, you've got the odd driver out there that likes to have a bit of a rub, but it's very clean racing amongst most of the modifieds, which is a credit to all of them, really, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of respect between particularly our drivers. Little bumps and all that sort of happen from time to time, and it can't be helped, but none of it is intentional. It happens.
I think I heard someone say over the PA system on the weekend that Rubbin's racing, boys. Does that ring a bell, Mr. Rourke?
We've been having a bit of weather this week. Did you notice that, fellas?
Yeah, it's been a bit
Hopefully
cold.
that weather will blow through by Saturday. Yeah. Well, actually, Rubbin is racing. Rubbin's okay, and the occasional donut on a car is to be expected.
Yep.
But and that's one of the things I love about modifieds. They'll lean on each other like my drunk uncles out the front of the pub.
Yeah.
But they don't bring each other undone.
No.
It makes for great spectacle and always good racing.
Yeah.
The fact that we do have some different cars out there is brilliant, and the fact that there's some more coming. Now, Nathan, I'm going to throw you under the bus here. I saw what you did with sports sedans on asphalt. They were dead in Tasmania, no if buts or maybes, and you got the old defibrillator out and pumped some life back into it. I know you copped a bit of flack while doing that, but pretty much brought those back from the brink. So the work that you're going to do on the social media, I think, is going to be brilliant as far as modifieds, just creating that interest. The series has already sparked that interest. Some people I was speaking to the other night going, we're thinking about moving into modifieds. And I went, you're the man to talk to, whether they've come and spoken to you or not. Don't know, but interesting to see how it does pan out over the next couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. The whole the sports stand thing with the circuit was great. For the most part, it was a cool thing to be a part of. There was lots of a lot of angry wives after the fact. There was a lot of money spent very quickly.
Yep.
I still love the circuit racing. Dad still races, but the fact that the biggest thing is that Joan A was doing this when we sort of started seeing each other. I got roped into jumping in a speedway kart, fell in love with it, and it's just snowballed from there. And look, I really enjoy being at the speedway. There's so many good people. Doesn't matter what division, they're all great people.
Yep.
And like I just love the family aspect of it as well. There's that many generations walking around the pits that it's ridiculous, really.
Yeah, yeah, and it's good to see. It's not just one generation now like it used to be years ago. Now it's all generations. You got young fellas, middle-aged, old fellas. They're all still having a crack, which is a credit to Speedway, and that's why I love it. It's because I honestly don't think there's anything in the world that compares to Speedway. There's that much politics in V8 supercars, and Formula One's rely on that much technology and things. But you look at Speedway, yeah, there's technology in it, and yeah, there's a little bit of politics, but it's not as bad as what them bigger sports are they?
No, that's right.
Yeah, no, awesome.
100% there. How would you like to be organising Formula One and being a steward at that level?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, was it Piastri and Lando Norris just got disqualified because their car was a hair? I think it was hair strain with difference.
Oh, no, it was a bit more than that,
Was it?
but it was about 1.5 hair strains.
Yeah, right. Yep. I know it wasn't much, but yeah, they were very picky.
The thing is, and this is the thing with rules. There's a line,
Yep.
and you can go right up to the line, but as soon as you go past the line,
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
You then go, oh, well, we'll give you 20% or 10% leeway. Now you've actually moved the line further. So,
no, that's exactly right. And
everybody knows what it is.
Definitely, for sure. Where's our state title this year, Nathan? Where are we running that at?
Well, look, literally before we jumped on here, I posted up that it is at AutoClean Hobart Speedway.
Nice.
In the wonderful Derwent Valley on the 14th of March.
Yeah, right, eh? Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're really taking the whole series thing sort of essentially a day at a time type thing. Like Tom and I are talking, daily on stuff that we can try and drum up a bit of interest and make a bit of noise and, all that sort of stuff. We haven't really got any big plans locked in for that yet.
Yep.
We're sort of at this point in time we're focusing on the meet that's actually direct before that at Carrick, which for us is a double nighter, I believe.
Yep.
Which traditionally I think was always the Memorial night. So we want to try and we want to try and actually do something with that and try and make it what once was and sort of bring a bit of meaning back into it.
Yep.
So that's our plan at this stage.
Yep.
And
no, you're right, Nath. Keep going.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Now I forgot what I was going to say.
So the second car, mate. Let's get on to that. I'm keen on this second car. Once you get the medical clearance, how much work is there to do on the second car?
There is no second car, mate.
Come on.
There'd have to be something there, surely.
Yeah.
Nah, look, we do have a spare shell sitting here.
Yeah.
But at this stage, we're sort of not really sure what we want to do with it. The thought we always want we want to stay with modifieds. Like we don't really want to try and move class or anything like that. As long as it's still kicking, this is I think where we want to be.
Yep.
The older car, essentially the idea behind it is we wanted to build a single seater. Because essentially the Falcon we've got, whilst I've rebarred pretty much everything, the main cabin structure of the car is the exact same as what it was when it was a straight stock. So it's actually still technically got all the bars and all that and all the plates and all that jazz to be a two-seater. So basically the thought is one day we'll build a better, lighter car. Don't know if we'll stay with the BA Falcon path. We don't really know what we want to do. But it's one of those things that we decided to leave the bars and stuff in this Falcon. I had the opportunity to take the plates out and take the extra bars out, but there was kind of a reason why we left them in.
Yep.
But yes.
Will the car stay in modifieds, or are you thinking about changing and dual registering it still, or is it just full on modified now?
No, she's full on modified. There's no going back now.
Yeah. Once you got that angle grinder out, that was the point of no return, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. I'll spend a couple of days with the angle grinder and a plasma cutter. So that was a good bit of fun. So like essentially I might as well just tell you guys. Our intentions at some point are to be able to use Jarnay's Falcon as essentially a ride day car.
Yep.
So we've actually been talking with Speedway Stands Australia, and they've actually given the go-ahead for us to use it on practice days and, basically on non-race days as a two-seater. So as far as I know, that's the first time in Australia it's happened. Hopefully toward the end of the season, at race nights where modifiers aren't on, we can bang the passenger seat in and take a punter for a ride or something like that.
Yep.
Or, toward the end of the season, we can take our series sponsors for a ride and, our own sponsors, because we got, a few of those we've got to look after as well,
I know late models do that every year, or they did last year, and they're going to do it again this year. They're bringing over the two-seater late model. And it's such a big hit. Like you're lucky to get in there. Like there's that many people line up to get in the car with whoever's driving it. But it's definitely a great thing for sponsors, isn't it? And people that want to get into the class can actually feel what it's like before they go out and buy the car, isn't it?
Yeah, like we've our car, when it was a street stock, I had spent quite a number of nights in the passenger seat, silly seat of it. And like we said before, going for a passenger ride on a street stock is an eye opener. Yep. And a bomb was definitely an eye opener. But having now driven a modified and been around the cars a bit, I understand the way they work a little bit better. I wouldn't say I'm definitely no expert. I still have no idea what we're doing with the thing. But I'm sure that is an experience, that people would love to have, for sure.
Yeah, and for people out there that don't go to the Speedway much and don't, know a lot about Speedway, it's not as simple as just jumping in and putting the foot to the floor and throwing it into a corner and you're going to win races, is it, Nathan? There's a lot involved. You've got your setups, your tyre pressures, your wheel spaces, there's so much involved to get these things to go fast, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess unfortunately I did spend a little bit of time in the go-karts, because you learn all the fundamentals of setup and stuff in that. It's a fair bit different, but you still learn a lot of the basics that, it's that next level.
Yeah. The principles of physics don't change. The weight transfers, all those sort of things, right amount of tire bite, etc. Just transfers across quite well, doesn't it?
Yep. Stager setup, gearing, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Even the basics of driving, it's all relative.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Nah, cool. So
there is sadly parts of the wider community that still just believe we have old Falcons and Commodores, kick the glass out, put a roll cage in, and that's it. Speedway's come a long way since the very early days.
Yeah. And
I love looking at some of the Speedway history stuff that's on Facebook from time to time.
Yeah, they've definitely come a long way, these cars. Like, it's even in the last 10 years they've come a long way, let alone the last 30 or 40 years. And it's great to see the sport actually booming in Australia. We've got live streams going on with Claverview and Jared Ash now. Like that's been such a big positive for our Speedway in Australia to get onto the market. Like Flow Racing and Dirt Vision in America. They're so big over there, and it's good to have a big one down here. And now we've got it in Tassie, which I think is helping the sport a lot more as well. Like, we're getting people watching that have probably never been to the Speedway before and think, oh, let's have a look and see. And then the next week, they're actually at the track. So and that's what we need to keep doing. I think social media and media televisation is a very big plus for our sport, and I think it needs to keep going forward.
Oh, definitely, because there's a couple of people out there that just physically not able to, whether it be work commitments or some health or medical issues. And so Claverview has connected them, and the number of messages that Stridey and I get each night that it's on Claverview is actually quite funny, from various drivers of different divisions in other states, and even as far away as New Zealand.
Yep. I think, I've heard of a couple of people in New Zealand, and I know that we've had a couple in Europe as well that have been tuning in and watching down, not just in Tasmania but around Australia, which is, it's good to see it getting out there worldwide. And like I said, these companies in America have been booming on it for years. Flow Racing and Dirt Vision, they've got so many followers. So it can only keep going forward. Speaking of Claverview, we have 2 weeks off. There'll be no Claverview this week. We was scheduled for the 6th of December at Latrobe, But unfortunately, because of other people's commitments, we won't have a full crew. So we've had to cancel the 6th of December. I do apologise for that, but that's sometimes we just can't all be at the same place at the same time. But we will return for Hobart on the 13th of December. That'll be our next Clay Per View meeting for everyone out there that will probably inbox me and say, oh, when's Clay Per View on next? So our 13th of December will be our next one. And then after that, I'm pretty sure we've got it pretty much flat out all the way till the end of the season. Like, there's a lot of double headers and a lot of shows that we've got. I know we've got the 26th and 27th of December, 2 night shows there between Carrick and Latrobe. We're off to the 3rd in January down Hobart. And then I think we have the Gene Cook Memorial is the weekend after, isn't it, Rocky, I think?
That's correct.
Yeah, so we've
then that just starts that whole mad month of money.
Yep.
Just going gangbusters.
Yep. And I bet you them Super Sedan drivers have been tuning in down here to make sure that they know what's going on, that's for sure.
Oh, they definitely have. They've been champing it a bit like a stallion on steroids to get in amongst it.
Yeah, I heard you talking to Sean Black and Steve Jordan the other night, and so yeah, they were definitely having a bit of a look to see what was going on, and it's good to see.
Trent Wilson was keen, and Jamie Williams is moving back down as well, bringing his car, so that's going to be fantastic.
Hopefully we can end up with about 40, 45 cars, which would be awesome for our mad month, that's for sure, coming up. So, Nathan, before we go on any further, is there any sponsors you'd like to thank? People, you just can't do this by yourselves, and you can't do this by yourself, of course.
Yeah, look, I've got a pretty substantial list. We've been very fortunate this year. We've sort of always struggled with finding support and stuff like that. We've got a lot of people that sort of jumped on and sort of wanted to help out. I won't go through the whole list because we'll have you here all night.
Mate, that's why we're here, mate. You go through that whole list, Nathan. You don't spare anyone's name.
All right, just hang on while I grab my blanket. No, this is important. Like, sponsors, without sponsors, the sport doesn't work. And it's important that all of us support the people that support all our teams. Yep. And when you are in one of those businesses, let them know, hey, I saw a sign on a Speedway car and this is why I'm spending my hard-earned coin here.
Yep. Yeah. Well, basically, first and foremost, I really do want to probably before we do our own personal one is actually talk about our series sponsors a bit too. Yep. Just because these guys have sort of as guys and girls have jumped in and sort of offered that much support for our struggling little division and sort of helped us give a little bit of money back to our drivers. Try and sort of help our division a bit. So obviously you've got Treetac Tasmania, Jaden. So they're based up Launceston area and specialise in tree arbouring and stuff like that. Obviously, it's in the name. We've got Thomas X Mechanical. Tom, big supporter of the class, obviously.
Yes.
And working with him to sort of do all this has been an absolute pleasure. We have Brad and Taylor at Currently Printing. They jumped on board and have helped us out with our banner stickers, our boards. We have our photo boards that we use, and then the drivers get a smaller version at the end of every night. And that's just one of those little keepsakes that we sort of wanted to offer to our drivers. Yep. You've got is it St Leonard's Village Inn? Big supporter of modifieds, obviously, and just Speedway in general. Let's be honest. Like, there's not many northern cars that Nat's name is not on.
Yep.
And look, the Williams family, like Smiley and Em, they obviously Em's been pretty successful in juniors, and she's chomping at the bit to get in the. But I can assure you, having seen the updated championship points as of tonight, I literally got them just before I got on this phone call. I reckon Em's going to get a bump in the seat anytime soon. To be honest with you, it's a nice little lead happening after only 2 meetings.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, he said no, he just wants to be in it till the car's right. And I did make the comment partway through the night as he was crossing the finish line. I reckon he would get back to the pits and go, no, I'm still not happy with the car. I've done a couple of meetings.
Yeah, well, look, it is pretty known that Walshy does in fact have a really competitive BA sitting in his shed, so maybe
yes, he does. Yes,
that's for him. That's a fun running car. You know, it's a good car. So, and on that note, we do actually have another new FG that has actually literally just entered the state today. So there's another modified on the scene.
Cool.
Are you at liberty to divulge which team it is?
Say too much yet, but you know, it'd be pretty obvious when it all happens.
Yeah. A name synonymous with modifieds.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, look, let's just say I'm just going to throw him under the bus. He currently drives a BA Falcon, and he thought, I like FGXs more.
Yep.
So, and he, young Jaden is actually currently sitting third in our championship, which is a pretty commendable effort for someone who's basically not even a full season into modified sedans.
Yeah, credit. Definitely.
Yeah. So. So look, onto our own sponsors. Now, look, before I do get into our sponsors, there are people that I do want to thank, just because, you know, the whole learning the modified thing, they're not by any means a simple car to sort of get your head around.
Yep.
There's a lot of, you know, little tricks and do's and don'ts with them. Josh Harm up in Pro 1, Race Parts up in Queensland. On a personal level, he's been so helpful in terms of just little setup things and ideas and stuff like that. Paul Walters at Australian Race Products, he set us up with a shock package which, you know, it works in his partner Rachel's car, so why wouldn't it work in ours?
Yep.
And you know, little setup things and answering stupid questions. Herb's from day one. He's always trying to push me into, you know, opening the checkbook up. But, you know, he's always got some pretty solid advice. He's been there, he's done that, and he's, you know, one hell of a driver too.
Yep.
You got Walshy, who's just, you know, always helping out with advice and stuff like that. Tom, same deal. Tom Hex has been around mods, you know, for a long time. You know, I think since he was basically able to get into a senior division, he was straight into a modified and hasn't left. I think he may have done a stint in a late model at one point, but he's never left mods.
Yep.
And Wade Cleary, of course. Wade he actually was quite instrumental in helping us sort of turn the car into a modified last season. He helped us out with a few bits and pieces and some ideas, and you know, that was massive. So we really appreciate Wade's help. And you know, one of the brand new Hoosiers that he sponsors with, he's actually still on the car, only half worn. The joys of having no power.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah. So look, our sponsors. We've got Rick Burt from RBMM joining us again. Rick is. He's a motorsport nut.
He's a legend of motorsport, particularly in the rally fraternity.
Yep.
Racing.
Yeah, you name it, he's done it. And he's come to the track and helped us quite a number of times. And you know, he loves playing with Falcons. Let's be honest, he bleeds blue. We've also got Audio Addicts down here in Hobart, Darren and the team. So they're, you know, car audio specialists. Doesn't make a lot of sense considering, you know, car audio, you normally rip it out, but you know, they've jumped on board because, you know, we've got a bit, you know, pretty good relationship with those guys through, you know, fitting radios to our road cars and stuff like that.
So what sort of tunes are on the playlist when you and Jana are heading to the racetrack?
Oh, geez, that's a bit personal.
Well, we want to know if it's wrist slashing thrash metal hippity hop or no Western or.
I can assure you right now that Jana is always the DJ. My music never gets a play, but we've got pretty similar music interests anyway.
I bet you're a sexy and I know it sort of man.
No, definitely not. We have a good mixture of everything. We have hip hop. You know, we have a little bit of, you know, sort of country and you know, normal, you know, heavy metal rock. You know, name it, we listen to it.
Yep.
This season we've had Elliot Cranehire join us. Greg and the team. So that was pretty cool. Those guys were very keen to jump on board. Actually related to Nay, which is even cooler. About to sort of do something with the family. We've had Inox Lubricants join us. So anyone who's ever played with anything mechanical knows that Inox is probably one of the best sort of lubricants there. Like, they send us a little care package, so I can guarantee you pretty much everything being used on the car is pretty much Inox at the moment.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm glad it is because it's bloody good gear.
Yeah, it is good gear. I use it all the time in my shed, and I guarantee it is the best on the market.
Yeah, look, I use it on the go-karts,
Yep.
Their chain loop, greases,
Yep.
You name it. We use it all on the Falcon, everywhere. So
Well, you got to love the name of their chain lube, don't you, Nathan?
No chain chucker or whatever.
No chain trucker. And on the back, it's got sticks like shit. That's
to be honest with you, I've used that much of it, and I've never actually noticed that.
You have a look on the back.
You
I
don't
read
read
it.
the fine print on the back.
I'm brilliant honest with you, I'm normally too busy smashing it on as quick as I can to get back on the track again. So don't have to understand around and read fine print.
Yeah.
We've got PT Motorsport on board with us again. So they've supported myself with my circuit racing days when I was playing around with that. They jumped on with the Falcon when it was in street stock mode.
Yep.
And look, they've actually jumped on board with the modified build. And look, I've literally just strung the wiring and stuff back in the car sort of over the weekend, and I tell you what, like their work is just phenomenal.
Nosey knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
He sure does. Look,
Yeah.
he sort of started dabbling with the speedway with young Stevie Smith with a 500. I think Stevie did some work experience with Pete for a while there. But yeah, look, when I mentioned to Peter what we were wanting to do with the Falcon, he was like a bull at the gate. He wanted in.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely, and he's very, very switched on dude.
Yep.
So I can't speak any higher of the quality of his work. We've also got this is an interesting one for the Falcon. We've actually got Devil Race Engines, who is a man by the name of Brian Shea. Brian has religiously for many years built Jeanette's go-kart motors when she was racing circuit go-karts, which she did for 20 years. I don't think he was building the motors the whole time. When I started in Speedway, I sort of built a bit of a relationship with Brian. He was still building Jeanette's Speedway motors. He started building mine. And now, look, because he's got a handy little workshop, he's actually been doing stuff for the Falcon. So we wanted to get him on board. Because he doesn't just do go-kart engines. He's one of the best go-kart engine builders around. But, he can do anything. He's a jack of all trades.
Yep.
Another one, Wiley's Kart City. So we've got Dion Wiley on board with the Falcon.
Yep.
So, the idea with that is, we wanted to advertise for Dion because he's helped both myself and Jamie out a lot.
Yeah, he's a top bloke, Dion.
With our kart racing. And look, the way I say it, it's money sort of saved on the go-kart stuff is money we can put towards the Falcon. So Dion's been a massive help with that.
Yep.
So it made sense to make sure we put him on the car.
Yep.
And he loves his go-karting, whether it be Speedway, circuit, and I'm pretty sure he was even an Australian Speedway kart champion at one point, way back when everything was black and white.
Yep.
Who else we got? We've got Cowie Mechanical, good mate of mine down in Cambridge here. So he's our southern mechanic. He's been helping us out with a few bits and pieces. We have Thomas X Mechanical and Tree Tech Tasmania. They actually helped us out with a few bits and pieces like panels and things like spark plugs and stuff like that. So they've been really helpful. Dale Racer Industries. This build would not have been possible without Dale's help. Yep. Basically, it's just been able to supply us with everything I've needed in a quick, prompt manner, and it's just made my life a lot easier.
Yep.
We have Innovate Build. joining us. They're a building company down here in Hobart. I've known Brody, the owner of Innovate Build, for many years. He actually just finished a bit of a renovation we haven't done at home, and he actually saw the race car in the shed and goes, "Oh, what are you doing with that?" Well, it snowballed from there, and he's jumped on board. So that's really cool. We've got Brass Race Engineering and Race Clear Tear-Offs. Matt Gerlach in Victoria there. Lovely fella. Also a modified sedan racer in Victoria. Yep. Actually had the sister car to Herb's car, I believe. I think he actually still has it. So they've jumped on board to supply both myself and Jano with our tear-offs and stuff like that. So that's been really good. Walsh Marine Services. Yep. Walshy's, look, all through last season, if we sort of hit a bit of a tight spot, being sort of people that sort of, freshly having a mortgage and stuff like that, if we needed something, he basically say, "Oh yeah, go grab it, and I'll sort it out for you." Yep. And we can't thank Walshy enough for helping us out with that sort of stuff. And it only made sense to have him on board again.
Yep.
We're nearly there, guys. I promise.
Walky's near asleep.
I haven't got my watch anymore.
Jesus, okay. I'm going for the record, all right? Just so you know. Currently printing. Yep. So Harlow, Brad, and Taylor. Yep. Look, they're. If you know who Brad is, he's got probably one of the nicest presented street stocks. Yep. Out there. It's a bit rough at the moment, but he assures me it's going to be pretty again soon. Yep. Hell of a capable operator behind the wheel of the street, and he has raced modifieds as well. Yep. So he's always done our liveries, whether it be on not always, but since Jane got the street stock, and so he started picking up currently printing. He did our first lot of stickers for that. Yep. Stickered it for us last year. He did the go-karts for me last year, which we won. Best presented at the Australian go-kart title, which no easy feat when you're talking the amount of karts that are there. Yep. We run the Richmond Speedway best presented for the Falcon as well in modified. So that for us that's a big thing. Yep. And I won best presented at Richmond Speedway Club for the go-kart as well. So that was cool. Lucky last in our sponsors is Tough Mounts. So Jason Way at Tough Mounts in South Australia.
Good crew.
Yeah. If you know tough street cars or drag cars and stuff like that, or even circuit racing cars, Tough Mounts generally do something for them. I've known Jason for quite a number of years through the sports sedan thing. He's a big lover of the historic sports sedans and all that sort of stuff. I've sort of got to know Jason over the years. And when I mentioned that we're putting a Barra in the car, I had no engine mounts or anything like that because we never had Barra stuff. He's like, "Oh yeah, sure, send some over." So we've got Tough Mounts in the car now, and we're hoping that he should have a new style of mount for us to trial for Speedway really soon. So
awesome.
We look forward to working with Jason a bit more. And there's rumour that a bloke by the name of Taz Auto Shots is going to be jumping on board at some stage.
Yes, we have spoke about that, Nathan. We have spoke, yes.
The Australian title. Not a lot of people don't know this, but Jamie helped me out with a couple pairs of tyres for the Oz title, which I did use. And look, because of all the stuff that went on with the medical stuff and all that, she was a real tight pinch financially. And look, that was a massive help for my own racing. So really appreciate that, Jamie. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, mate. I love helping people out. It's great. Yep. Awesome. Right, where are we up to? Right, we're off to Carrick this weekend, Rorky, for the Tas Petroleum Thunder Throwdown.
The Thunder Throwdown, what a fantastic event that's going to be.
Yep.
Of course, gates open at 1, racing from 5.
Yep.
Remember that, racing at 5. Like, there's a few people do rock up and go, hang on, they've started early. No, they do start at 5 p.m. at Cranes Combined Carrick Speedway. And this one brought to us by Tas Petroleum. Massive night of action. 24 street stocks, that's always spectacular. 11 wingless. Then we've got 6 new stars, 6 top stars, and 5 Formula 500 juniors.
Yep.
16 AMCAs, a 6-pack of Tassie Sixes, which is fantastic, and 10 of the ultra-fast late models, 11 wingless. I think I mentioned them, but 10 late models on the tight confines of Carrot Clay is always spectacular.
Yeah, and they're all very competitive late models too, aren't they?
Well, they certainly are, and it'll be interesting to see how it all goes.
Yeah, no, it should be a good night. If the start of the season's anything to go by, I don't think anything's going to change. These late models haven't been out much, so their feet will be getting itchy, and it should be some good racing for the night, I think. And 16 AMCAs, mate, like that's AMCA division this year is absolutely booming with numbers, and it's a credit to them. Like the racing's good. We just need to slow Adrian Bassett down a little bit. He needs to, just ease up a bit.
Nick Taylor was able to do that the other week at Gulf Western Independent Oils Raceway. So.
Either that or we might have to put something underneath Adrian's accelerator just to slow him down a little bit.
Everything.
He's got a unique style of driving. Keeps that right foot pinned, and then just uses that left foot just to move the weight around in the car where he needs it, just to help get it to turn in. And keeps massive amount of momentum.
Keeps the car nice and straight. He does, which is that's a big thing. And he has good corner entry and good corner exit, which is that's speedway through and through.
The mid corner speed is right up there, isn't it?
Yep. When do we see the mods back out on track, Nathan?
The 13th of December at Hobart.
Yep. Your car be out?
If we can get all our ducks in a row, then hopefully, I'm pushing pretty hard to try and get it done at the moment, but it's just a couple of little things are sort of holding us up a little bit. So fingers crossed. It'll be good to get out there.
Yep. Cool. Righto, that's just about it. Before we go, Mr. Rourke, we have a new competition, a new giveaway.
We certainly do. Where I work, Performance Driving Australia, they've said, look, loving the podcast. They would like to give away what we call a 9 to 5 driving program. It's a 2-hour course at either Symmons Plains or Baskerville, valued at $149. In that course, you learn emergency stops, emergency hazard avoidance, how to sit in a car correctly to avoid injuring yourself in the unlikely event of a crash, all these sort of things wrapped up into a 2-hour course, valued at $149. Now, to win it, we're going to run this over a couple of weeks. Put in your best road trip story into the comment section. What do you reckon, Nathan? You got some good road trip stories or advice here?
Oh, yeah. Look, I think for the punters, probably stick to the sober ones. That'd probably be a good idea.
That's a good idea.
The drunk road trips are always the funny ones.
But of course, the driver has to be sober.
Yes, the driver has to be sober. Yes.
Yeah. The best road trip story, and we've seen lots of them over the years, like from getting lost in the angry wagon to all sorts of other things, and we'll be giving that away just after that week of the 13th, because we've got a week off before we get into the Boxing Night Blitz and then the 27th, etc. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of it.
Excellent, and a big shout out to PDA for allowing us to have this giveaway on the show. If people don't know, Rourke works for PDA, and what does PDA involve? Rourke, fill us in.
Performance Driving Australia, we do defensive driving courses. They're our bread and butter. This is all post-licence. We also do four-wheel drive, mine site and outback driver training, snow and ice driver training, side-by-side and buggy training, caravans and trailer towing, anti-terrorist and security driver training, high-performance race driver training, pretty much anything to do with post-licence training. Now, the 9 to 5 course is eligible for L and P platers. But if they're an L plater, obviously the licensed driver needs to come along with them. And if you want further deets, you can just go on to all the W's, .925, the numerals, driving.au. And we might put a link up in the...
we'll put a link. I'll find a link and chuck a link down in there for us. Cars supplied, or do they need their own car, Rourke?
They need their own cars,
Yep, cool.
I'll just butt in there real quickly. When I was playing around with the circuit racing cars, I did actually do a couple of PDA days myself. And look, they're a really well-run day with great tuition and stuff like that. And yeah, just maximum track time, lots of fun. Not much money at all.
Yep, I've actually been thinking about going and doing one myself. I've been keen for a while to try and do one, and I don't mind. I wouldn't mind actually going and doing one of these defensive driving courses because it doesn't hurt to have a bit of a spruce up on your defensive driving, especially with some of the roads that we have in Tasmania at the moment. It's definitely something you probably should do.
Oh, definitely, and it's one of those things like. Everyone goes, I don't need to, and then they come along and everyone goes, this should be compulsory.
Yeah.
And whilst we don't say that it should be compulsory, we think there should be a financial incentive.
Yeah.
So we're keen to give away a 2-hour driving course. And
excellent.
It keeps you fun.
Awesome.
You'll learn something.
Yeah, no, you definitely will. And you're one of the teachers too, Rocky, I gather?
Yeah, I'm one of the trainers. Come along to either Baskerville or Simmons Plains. We've got a couple of good trainers. Young Alex Peroni, who's well known in the circuit racing world, raced in Europe in Formula 3 and also raced in the States in Indy Lights. So knows a thing or two about driving, does young Alex.
Yeah, no, definitely does. And you do too. I know your history too, and you're no slouch behind the wheel either, mate. All right, well, we might leave it there, fellas. Nathan, best of luck for the season. We hope it all goes well for Modifieds and yourself, of course, and your better half when she jumps into the car. We hope to see you back out there real soon, mate, with the leg fixed and back out on the track spinning laps, because that's what we all love to do, of course. And, we hope the season goes all well for you, mate.
Yeah,
I definitely do. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Look, there is rumour I might actually end up getting my bum in the seat of a sedan toward the end of the season, but we'll see what happens. I don't want to go putting pressure on people.
Yep. No, stay with us, mate. We'll end the show and then we'll have a bit more of a yak. Rocky, as always, mate, I don't know what I'd do without you on this show. You really do make the show. It's great to have you on. I will see you on Saturday night. We'll watch some more cars go crazy around the track.
Loving it.
All right, people, thanks for joining us. We know it's got a little bit longer tonight, but hey, that's what we do. We love our show and we love to get our name out there and we love to support our absolutely awesome motorsport. Do yourself a favour, support your local, as I always say, and get yourself to Cranes Combined Carrick Speedway this weekend. It's going to be a great meeting. 10 late models, like we said, 16 AMCAs, 24 street stocks, and a heap of other divisions. So yeah, plus they got the merch shop. Go up, if do yourself a favour, go up and see Leanne at the merch shop. She got some great Gene Cook Memorial tops up there to sell, plus a heap of other merchandise from Cranes Combined Carrick Speedway. And we'll see everyone on the track. And on that note, everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you on the weekend. And actually see you next week.